Hey guys, what is up? It's Zoned, and I have a new video for you guys. This time I'm talking about how you can win fights against multiple enemies at once. So I want you guys to imagine a situation where you're fighting an enemy and there's two enemies or three enemies or even however many enemies you want to imagine, and I want you to imagine that there's no cover there at all. You're in a flat field like this one, like you're in the field of Mount Afka for some reason. So I want you to imagine that, say there's two enemies and they're fighting you, and they're relatively mobile tanks, especially, right? So imagine them here and here. This is an okay situation to be in because they are both in front of you. So they both have line of sight in you this way, and you can point your armor this way facing them, and they're both in front of you. But often what happens is that this guy sometimes gets behind you like this, and this is not what you want to have happen. This is a really, really bad situation because now you can't get to pick with this tank or this tank to look at. Your armor can point one way or the other. You can only point your gun at one tank at a time. What you want to do in situations like this is, if you can, you want to start breaking down this into smaller 1v1 fights. And so what you want to do is you want to try to have this tank be in front of you like this. And so what happens is that this tank blocks the other tank's shots. So now you're just fighting, essentially you've broken this down into a little 1v1 between you and the other tank. And what this allows you to do is, it allows you to fight basically one enemy at once, even though you're in a situation where you're really fighting two guys. So let's see how this works out in game. So now I'm in the situation where the STB, I'm going across the water on Windstorm, and this map is kind of hard to play with a hull down tank. That's why I'm going to this ridgeline here, which is a really good spot to play, and a hull down tank or a tank with good gun depression. So I come to this corner, and then I spot this Type 64, and I probably aimed this shot a little too long, but I take it off anyway. It's a 1-to-1 trade. I don't want to do that, but I do know I out-reload him. My reload's faster than his, so I take that second shot off right away, so I get more damage to him than I did trade in return. That ended up being a positive trade. So I only see the one guy, and then right there I spot the other guy. I should have known because they are platoon mates that the other guy was going to be there too. And now I'm a little worried. I start right there. I call for help from my team. I don't know how he hits that shot, but like I said, I'm calling for help from my team. I'm worried that these guys aren't going to be supporting me. I don't really know what they're doing there because they haven't seen a single enemy tank here, and so they need to start doing something there. They're kind of just sitting there. And right now I'm just trying to play this hull down and keep these two tanks in front of me. And now I'm trying to ping my team and tell them they need to either move up or come support me. They can't just sit here in this corner and just do nothing. Most of the team's been lit already. This guy sneaks another shell into my turret, and right here I'm getting rushed. This is bad. I can see that these guys are both pushing me, and so I start backing up, trying to bait them into the enemy team. And then I want to pause this right here. I want to point out this is where the situation goes from bad to worse. This guy's getting around behind me. They're crossfire me out, and I'm going to die really, really quickly. So I need to make a play here. Like I said, isolates the angle, so I'm fighting one of these guys at once. So let's see what I do here. So I see this guy's going around me, and then I decide that I need to get back around him and then use him as cover from the other tank. So right there, he puts a shell into me, and because that guy was definitely reloaded and had the shot earlier, but because his friend was blocking him, he couldn't shoot me, and then he ended up bouncing off me anyway because of the angle. I was able to survive that engagement because I was able to slow it down and break it down into smaller 1v1s. Let's do it again, but in a little bit slower motion. So looking at this in the slow-mo, right here when I realized that this Type 61 is gonna get behind me, I almost immediately start pulling forward and to try to get behind him again. His reverse speed is not gonna allow him to back up in time, and I'm gonna go down the hill and use him now as cover. That Type 61 is reloaded by now. He's holding a shot because he doesn't want to shoot his teammate. And then right there I managed to get the bounce out of him, and if I had played that a little bit better, I would have been able to completely hide from his shell entirely. And so that I probably wouldn't even have needed to bounce the shell off my tank, and I would have been able to survive that engagement even better. So that's going to wrap up this video, guys. I hope you guys learned something from this. I really wanted to show you guys what it feels like when you're fighting against multiple tanks and what's the correct tactics to use. Obviously, if you have cover, use that, but this is the worst case scenario where you don't have anything else to use other than the tanks you're fighting against. Thanks for watching, guys. Like if you like this video. Sub if you want to see more of this stuff, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.